the company registration, when you register as a company, it is a separate legal entity. So the director of the entity or the shareholders of the entity, they are different from the company. So you have that limited liability protection. So if something happens and your entity is being sued to court, or if there's a fine to be paid, if there's a bill to be settled in the courts, it is not your own personal asset. Your own personal asset is being protected under the limited liability company registration. So your personal assets are being protected. It is the company assets that will go for whatsoever bills that need to be settled in the court of law. Now, we need to also understand the fact that according to CAC standard, all businesses can be registered as a company, but not all businesses can be registered as a business name. And we have experienced, I've had a number of clients that will reach out to me and they'll be like, I don't really have much. I just want to register as a business name. Please, I don't want to register as a company. My business is small and all of that. And I'll be like, okay, what is your business description? And you hear the client saying, my business description is travels and tour, and you want to register as a business name. That cannot fly. So there are quite a number of businesses that can only be registered as a company. They cannot be registered as a business name. That's according to CAC standard. So you cannot say because you're trying to cut down costs, you're trying to because you're saying, a lot of persons will say think big, start small and all of that, but then it does not really work with CAC like that. So there are quite a number of business descriptions, like a finance-oriented entity, a travels and tour entity, a security agency. They cannot be registered as a business name. A school cannot be registered as a business name. It can only be registered as a company. So we need to also understand that fact. Then also another distinctive differences between a business name and a company is that for a business name now, before now, because CAC now has done an upgrade on their portal and they've infused AI to the portal, and now registration is always like as fast as the speed of light. You can carry out business name registration within, let's say, 24 hours to 48 hours. If the portal is very stable, your certificate should be out. But before now, in your business description, when you are registering as a business name, you can describe your business description in 120 words, 120 characters for business name. But now you are just restricted to just one business description anymore. You can only select just one business description for business name. But for company now, you can spell out as much as possible business description in which your entity operates in. So if you are into fashion designing, you are into cake and pastries, you're into travels and tour, you're into whatsoever thing you are into, you can spell as much as possible business description under company registration. Now for business name also, you cannot buy properties in the name of the business. Just like I said, a business name is not a separate legal entity. So if you are buying any properties, you are buying it in your name. So it's not in the company's name. So just like I said, if something happens and your entity is being sued to court, it is your properties that will go for it. So if you are saying you bought this property in the name of your business and you register as a business name, that cannot fly in the court of the law. But when you register as a company, you can buy properties in your company's name. And if there is maybe a case that needs to be answered, your own asset is being protected because you have the limited liability protection rights because you register as a company. So I can go on and on and on and on and on and on to give quite a number of distinctive differences between the two. But then, so what are the requirements? Just like I said, for business name now, basically you need the proprietary details, You need your business name, your preferred business name. You also need the entity details, then offer language, then a means of identification, your passport, and a signature. You're all good. The registration will be complete for that. But for company registration now, what you'll be needing is that, just like I said, for business name, for company, you also be needing your details, your biodata, your business details, that is your entity details. You also be needing shareholder details. You also be needing a witness. Now, if the company is just for you alone, the director, which is you, can also serve as a shareholder. What it simply means is that you'll be owning 100% of the share capital of your entity. So you don't need to worry yourself too much that, okay, I need to start looking for shareholders to register my company. No, you as the director can also be the shareholder. So what it only implies, just like I said, is that you'll be owning 100% of the share capital of your company. All right. So thank you so much for that question. You see, the bottom line is, because it's my field and I've had a lot of cases. People go ahead because most times I do tell people that you can actually carry out registration yourself. I'll tell you for free. You can do the registration yourself. But then entity registration or whatsoever thing you want to do, be it a profit-oriented or non-profit-oriented. Okay, let me just restrict it to the subject matter for this night. We are dealing with profit-oriented, which is business name and company. So I do tell people for free that you can actually carry out this registration for yourself. But then, if you don't understand the nitty-gritty of this registration, the registration can be as simple as ABC. It can be as simple as ABC, but then there are quite a number of technicalities in registering, and any little mistakes like this, it can destroy what you've been doing. Any single mistake. Now, I've had a client that reached out to me just to give us a clearer picture of what I'm trying to say. A client actually reached out to me. So she has actually carried out the registration herself. And the brand name that she actually reserved is actually a name that she has been using for 20 years. I kid you not. 20 good years. So she decided to carry out the registration herself, and what really happened is that she made a mistake in the commencement date. And by the time you make a mistake in the commencement date, CAC is going to query your work and they will fine you. And once they fine you, you will pay the sum of 150 naira from the date that you imputed, which is the commencement date, till the present date. You will pay 150 naira per day as fine. Now, when the work was queried and she sent the work to me, we did the calculation. For a business name registration, we did the calculation of the 150, and the money was running into millions. Like the fine that she's going to pay to CAC, something that can be avoided. A simple mistake that can just be avoided. And how can it be avoided? When you reach out to an expert in the field. So I'll tell people you can do this thing for free. But then, and what is really paying that client now up to date is that she does not have that money to pay, the millions to pay, because a registration fee, a service fee that is about, let's say, thousands of naira, and you are being asked to pay a fine of millions. And what is really paining now is that the name she actually registered with, she has been using it for 20 years. Now the name is gone. So she will need to come up with a new name. She will need to go back to start doing rebranding, start doing a lot of re-strategizing again and marketing and all of that. She has printed flyers, she has done a lot of marketing, doing a lot of brandings with that name. And now that the registration she did has been queried and she cannot carry on with it again, she will need to forfeit that name that the brand that she has been building for years, 20 years. You can see that can be painful. So to fall in that kind of issue, I will always admonish people: do not carry out this registration yourself. If you know that you don't understand the integrity, if you understand how to do it, all fine and good, go ahead to do it. It's fine, you can do it yourself. But if you know that you cannot do it yourself, I will always admonish you: try to reach out to experts in the field to help you do the registration, so that you know that by the time your CAC documents are coming out and every other supporting documents are coming out, you know they are coming out with ease and you will not have any issue. So that's just it. All right, so if I could get your question correctly, so you made mentions of companies that have different products or different subsidiaries, how they go about the registration of those products. All right. So one thing I do tell people is that if you are carrying out a formation of your entity, formation of your company, you make sure you use like an umbrella name. Always use an umbrella name. What I meant by umbrella name is actually a name that is not going to restrict you to just one. What I'm trying to say now is, if you know you want to do like different things, you want to diversify, you want to like have different business activities for your company. So one thing I do advise is always use an umbrella name, a global name, a name that is not going to restrict you to just one business category or just one business description. Now, take for instance, now if you hear names like let's say Sweet Delight Cake. So first thing first, what will come to your mind is that, okay, this brand is they are just into cake and nothing more. So if they should tell you that Sweet Delight Cake is also doing real estate, it's not really synchronizing well. Cakes, the brand name and even the business description is not synchronizing well. So one thing I do advise people is that you use a global name, use an umbrella name that is not going to be generic, that at least is going to be on a neutral level. Then if you now have like different subsidiary, like different product, and this is what big corporations are actually doing. So when you have different, let's say different products or different business description, you can now trademark. And this is you trying to reduce cost, and you're also trying to like structure your brand very well. So what I always advise is that when you register an umbrella name and you have different products, you have different brands. So what you do is that you trademark those brands. Now take for instance, now let's say Official Tobizi World Limited. It's registered as LLC. Now I have a farm that's a subsidiary of Official Tobizi World. Let's say the name of my farm is Three Toes Farm, or let's say the name of my farm is OTW Farm. So okay, I also have let's say a travel and tour entity also under Official Tobizi World Limited. Let's say that brand name is, let's say, OTW Travels. So what I'll do is that, in my business, in my memorandum article of association, that's my objective when I was carrying out my registration, all these business activities are already. So what I do now to secure that brand name, because there's a distinctive difference between a legal name and a brand name. Now, a legal name is more or less like your official name. That is the name that you registered with. But your brand name now, it's your DBA, doing business as. So what you do now is that you trademark brand name. I'll trademark OTW Farms, or trademark Three Toes Farms, trademark OTW travels, just to secure that name so that I can have exclusive rights, I can have exclusive ownership to that name. And this is actually what these bigger brands are doing. Now, take for instance, now I can't really remember the legal name for Coca-Cola. I can't really remember. But then Coca-Cola, you agree with me that they have brands like Fanta, they have brands like Sprite, they have brands like, what other brands they have? I think you know Pepsi. No, let's just say Sprite and Fanta. Now, Fanta now is a brand name of Coca-Cola. I think Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola Nigeria PLC. Yes, Coca-Cola Nigeria PLC. So it's a brand name of Coca-Cola Nigeria PLC. Sprite is also a brand name of Coca-Cola Nigeria PLC. Now, another vivid example, a practical example, is also Unilever. Now, Unilever, they have their legal name. I think Unilever Nigeria Limited or something. But they have brands like No, they have brands like Magnum, they have brands like Dove. You see, all those brand names, they trademark them. So what I always advise people is that if you have different subsidiaries or different brand names that you also want to like secure, you can just register a global name, register an umbrella name for your brand. Then you trademark those other subsidiaries, you trademark those other products or the brand names that you have. And this is actually what bigger brands are doing. All right, so trademark is actually it's an intellectual property protection body under the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. So for CAC now, CAC is a body that is saddled with the responsibility to give people legal license to operate a business in Nigeria. So CAC now give you a legal license to operate. But trademark is actually saying that you're trademarking your brand. You are marking your trade. Let me just put it that way. You are marking your trade. So trademark now give you exclusive rights. It gives you ownership of that your brand. Now, when we talk about trademark, you can trademark a name, you can trademark a logo, you can trademark a slogan. But when we talk about copyright now, copyright is also an example of intellectual property protection. So for copyright now, copyright has to do with people that are into creatives, people that are into artworks, people that sing artists, people that are into software development. So you copyright your software, you copyright your artwork, you also copyright your music, you copyright your books. So those are the things that you can copyright. So copyright and trademark, they are example of intellectual property protection, and this gives you exclusive ownership of that item or that thing that you're trying to like protect. But CAC now gives you the legal rights, it gives you the license to operate business legally in Nigeria. So that's basically the differences between CAC and trademark and copyright. So trademark and copyright, it's an example of intellectual property protection. And just like I said, the body that regulates trademark and copyright is the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. So that is basically the differences between the two. So first thing first, if you're formalizing, if you want to incorporate, the go-to body first is the CAC. Then we do advise clients, I do advise people that you should always do CAC and also do trademark, because it's more or less like you switching on two-factor authentication. So you're securing, you're getting the license to operate business legally in Nigeria, and you are also securing that your name or that your logo or that your brand, so that you can have exclusive right of ownership to it. So that's basically the difference between the two. All right, so thank you for that question. You see, one thing I do say is that I think the opening section, I don't know if I make this phrase. I said, you see, people say things like, you need to think big and start small. Yeah, that's fine. Think big, start small, but you also need to like act big too. You need to act global. Now, you emphasize that your brand is a global brand, but you're not doing what global brands are doing. So now the subject matter of this series is brand scalability. So how do you want to scale? And one of the crucial important steps for you to scale your business is structuring your business. And when we talk about structuring your business, it has the first step for you to structure your business is for you to formalize. So let me give us this analogy of you emphasizing your brand to be a global brand, but you're not taking global step. You just want to start small. You're thinking big, but you don't want to act global. I'll tell people, start small, think big, but also act global. Now let me give us this analogy. Now, the distinctive differences between a small child, that is a child that they just gave birth to today, and an adult, is just time. Time is just the difference. And why did I say that? Now, a small baby is going to have like the complete organs, the intestine, the digestive organs, the circulatory organs, the nervous organs, the brain, and what have you. The adults too also have those systems in the body. Now, it's just time that's going to take that small child to get to that adult level. It's just time. And now let us bring it to branding. Let us bring it to enterprise. Now let us bring it to the business corporation aspects. Now you emphasize your brand to be a global brand. You also need to take global steps. If you say, okay, Dangote is my mentor, you say Apple is my mentor, you say big corporations are your mentor, Mobi is your mentor, and you're not taking global steps, you're not taking steps that these global brands, the steps that they took when they started, then I'm sorry to tell you, your brand cannot scale. It cannot scale. So what am I trying to say in a nutshell? Entity formation, the benefits cannot be overemphasized. It's a very crucial, important step if you're thinking scalability, if you're thinking to expand. Now, there are quite a number of benefits when you register your entity. A lot of benefits. Now, let me give us this practical real life scenario. A practical real life scenario. Now, there is a man. His name is Jude. He's a successful businessman. He actually runs a transportation business. So he has like 2 trucks that carries goods and seaports to inner cities for customers. Now, his business is not registered. It's not registered. But unfortunately now, there was one day that his truck had a fatal accident, and it actually involved a collision, and there was fire, and it killed like 5 people. Now, his business suffered a great loss because he has lost a truck. Now, here's now the drift now. The biggest problem is now the case that was brought against him in the courts by the relatives of people that died during the accident. So they were suing Mr. Jude for a very huge sum of money. And even if Mr. Jude should sell his truck, sell everything, it will not be enough to settle that huge amount of money that they are demanding. Now imagine you killing like 5 persons in an accident. Now imagine the kind of compensation. Imagine the kind of the cost that they will be demanding from you as regards damages. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. So he did not register his business. Had it been the business was registered, he would have structured his business well. That even if he's going to settle any bills, his own personal assets is going to be protected. So what am I trying to say in a nutshell? You registering your entity, it gives you protection. It gives you that liability. When you register as a company, it gives you that limited liability protection, that your personal asset is secured. So your liability are limited. And just like I said, the benefits of you registering your business cannot be overemphasized. Now, you can open a corporate account, because if you are talking about structuring your entity, and as a business person, all your business income is just entering your personal account. There is no account for, you're not checking the amount of money you're making per month. You're not checking the amount of money you're making in a year to know if you're having profit or if you're making loss. There's no way your business can scale if you are not doing that. So for you to structure your entity well, you need a corporate account. And without your certificate of incorporation, you cannot have a corporate account. Now imagine you doing marketing, you've done marketing, you've done branding, you've done all sort of showcasing your products to people now, and you got a client that is ready to buy your product. Let's say the product is running into millions, for instance, and now you introduce your brand to the person as my brand is Lick and Chops Delicacy. Let's just use that brand name, Lick and Chops Delicacy. Introduce your brand like that. Even your e-flyers and what have you carries that name, and that name is not registered. Now, okay, the person is ready to patronize you. Okay, you send the description of the cost, what is going to cost the person. Okay, the person is like, okay, I'm ready to go. Okay, send your account details. We want to make payments, and you're not sending your personal account to receive millions. Do you think that person will trust you? That person will not send that money to that account. It's not possible. You introduce your brand to us as Lick and Chops Delicacy. Now, for you to receive payment of the service that you want to offer or the product you want to sell, we are not seeing Ojuko, Salami. We're seeing a combination of Yoruba name and Igbo name together. There's no way the client is going to patronize you. So, registering your business, it gives you access to open a corporate account. Then potential customers will feel very comfortable in paying into a corporate account than paying into a personal account. They will feel comfortable to pay into a corporate account rather than paying into personal account, because there's this notion that tells people that, okay, this person is actually serious. Okay, you send your account details to me. I can see the brand. I can see the brand name that you are publicizing, the brand name that you are marketing. I can see it. So they will be very comfortable to pay into the account. Another benefit is that you can also apply for loans. You can apply for grants when you register your entity. You see, investors, angels, investors, and capital investors, they will not patronize. They will not invest in individuals that are just individuals, not registered businesses. So one of the benefits is that you'll be able to apply for contracts, you'll be able to apply for loans. You see, a lot of grants are outside, but people cannot really like apply for it because their entities are not registered. But when your entity is registered, you'll be able to apply for loans and you'll be able to apply for grants. And in returns, it will help your brand. You'll be able to scale up. Now, if you're on a smaller scale before and you see grants, you see loans to support your business, it will help in your scaling. It will help in scaling your business. So that is also one of the advantages, one of the benefits. Then another advantage is that customers and prospects, they will see your business as legit and reliable if your business is registered. There was one prank video that I saw recently. The guy was trying to prank a woman selling biscuits and this grocery stuff. So what he was trying to do is that he picked up a biscuit and he was not pretending that he's not going to pay the woman. So he was saying he's not going to pay, but it's a prank. And the woman was like, why will you tell me that I'm not going to pay? Why will you tell me that I'm not going to do this? I'm not going to do that? And the woman just opened her mouth and said that, do you know my business is registered? That talked. It was like, he was afraid when she said, my business is a registered business and I can. Immediately, he just rushed down to say, ma, please, it's a prank and all of that. So what am I trying to say? As a brand that is reliable when your business is registered. More also, if you register your business, it gives you that perpetual existence. Now, what am I trying to say as perpetual existence? Now, this is not for business name. Just like I've given clarity of the differences between a business and a company. A perpetual existence is that even if the owner of the business dies, there's still going to be like a continuity. There's going to be like a continuum. That is the business. When the owner of the business dies or something happens, then the business is going to close up. So if you're running an entity that is not registered and the owner of the business dies or something happens, everything is just going to just die down. But if it is registered, registered and is well structured, you are very sure that your legacy is being protected. You are very sure that that the business is still going to continue. Now, let me just give us this last benefit to wrap up. Now, if your business is not registered, you are just running a glorified hobby. You are running a glorified hobby. It's not a legal entity, and your reputation is actually at stake because the perception or the notion you are giving onto clients is that you are not serious. That you are not serious, and when clients are seeing you that you are not serious, they will not patronize you. And when clients are not patronizing you, you are not making sales. And when you are not making sales, there's no way you can scale. So I always try as much as possible to like tell people, you emphasize your brand to be a global brand. I know that you're still building, but then entity formation, business registration is actually a very crucial step for you to scale. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Toby, for your words of wisdom that you have shared with us this night. I learned the benefits of registering your business and the consequence of not registering your business. Your customers will not trust you. That's like the foundation of even owning a business. For the people that patronize you to trust you, they don't trust you, there will be no patronage. So thank you very much for sharing this with us this evening.